Hi and welcome to the market alert for Thursday the 10th of June 2020. So bracing for inflation data, will all hell break loose? Well, we'll find out at 1:30 when the CPI data is released. If it comes out at 3%, it will be interesting. The goal of the Fed, by the way, is 2%, but they're forecasting 0.4, 0.5. So anything higher than this will send the metals higher. Anything lower than this will send them south and the dollar north. The Lagarde's also speaking as well at 1:30, and we've also got the monetary policy statement as well at 12:45. So she may be speaking at 12:45 into 1:30 as well. So let's have a look at the implied volatility whilst we're here. This is crept up after yesterday when the Dow moved lower. 1380, yeah, we were 1297 the day before. So let's have a look at the Dow, see where this is trading, see if I can find it. So that's the metals. It'll be the last one, of course, it always is. So here's the daily of the Dow. You can see yesterday we had another down day. The market trading down to the 20 bar moving average. There's been no spike to the upside yet. Maybe if the inflation figures are better than forecast, this will give the market the opportunity to move to the upside. So what I'm going to do here, just in case they're bad, I'm going to mark from here to have a look at the downside sort of areas of support on the fibs. I'm just going to add back in on the daily chart the 50 and the 38. So let's just do that again. So from here up to here, so I can see where the market is likely to move down to. I've still got the upside ones, although I'll redraw these and no, I'll leave that one there, but from this high to yesterday's low, it's just moved down a couple of points more than the previous day. So all of these areas here are also ones to keep an eye on as well. Just drag those out there so you can see them. You can draw them on your own chart as well. So let me just save those. Let's just have a quick look inside of yesterday. You can see there, this is a 30-minute chart. You can see prices moving straight to the downside. Moving up to begin with. Market opening moving up. Resistance to the left. In fact, that looks like it's bang on 89% retracement. It is. And then prices sailing to the downside, and that's how it was for the rest of the session until we got to the low, and you can see the demand coming in there on the low there. You see the D there, so they were buying back in at the low yesterday, and overnight prices have been in a sideways move, which I'd expect for the morning session as well until the figures have been released. Meanwhile, in the German DAX, in the daily chart, down heavily yesterday, straight down to 89% from the low to the high that we drew in, and bouncing off this and returning back to the upside. Now, interestingly enough, the market barely moved when, again, if we just have a look at the 30-minute, yesterday, stuck sideways for 2 hours, barely moved. That's we've got the futures there, then we've got the cash. You can see an hour, 2 hours, and then as soon as we got past 10 o'clock, the market moved sharply lower, and then also bounced as well, as you can see there, and overnight has been moving higher as well. But it's amazing, this is the second day it's done this, where the market's done absolutely nothing and then traded after the first 2 hours. But I would imagine today the market's going to stay in a sideways range until the CPI figures are out. So looking inside of that 30-minute chart, you can see how prices were sideways and managed to move higher up to the previous day's close, stopped, and then just drifted all the way back down. No great range, back up to the BRN and the 200 MA, and then move lower. And then you'll see mid-morning it just moved sharply lower as the pajama traders came on board in New York, and the market then being brought back. And then the afternoon, complete and utter waste of time, again waiting for this news. And then of course the Dow recovering and moving up, as you see there. So the DAX following until later on in the session, when after 5 p.m. the Dow moved lower. But overnight, you can see they're just above the DP and holding above that and the 200 MA at the moment. Again, I would expect this market to trade sideways until we get the CPI figures. But you can see that as it's the daily pivot, the midpoint, we're sort of equidistant to both the high and the low. So see what the futures does, but I'm not expecting an awful lot this morning. And this is reflected in the metals markets as well. Just grab the right chart. And we'll start off with silver. You can see stuck in a sideways range. Back to that 27.50 again yesterday, where it found support and trading down to this overnight at the moment. You can see there, they're just having a bit of a shakeout. I would imagine that if I got to take a guess, given the price of lumber and also all of the other inflation figures that have come to light in the last few months, we are likely to see the inflation higher and good for the metal. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if they're not actually either anticipating this or have some sort of knowledge. But the low and the 27.50 is a very interesting area. You can see they're trying to get the market down to this point again at the moment. So the trouble is, if the inflation figures come out more or less where they are, then that's going to send silver sailing all the way down to 27. That's the only problem with buying beforehand. But then, you know, there's always an opportunity to get in prior to that, unless we get a good shakeout, you know, before 130. We'll just have to wait and see. In the dollar, you can see this is already being marked up in anticipation that if the figures are too high and the dollar gets slammed, well, at least they managed to work their magic and bring it up. Like I say, the opposite in the metals, sell it off, buy it back cheaper. I would say in anticipation. You see this with gold as well, already being marked down. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens with regards to the inflation later on this morning. Bonds, we've not looked at it for a while. The yield, you can see there, 148 down sharply over the last couple of days. I do look at this each morning, but as there's a big change in this at the moment, I thought I'd just bring this to your attention as well. Okay, I think that will do it for this one. There's not a lot else to report until we get these figures out later this morning. So let's see what happens at 1:30. Okay, that'll do it for this one. If there is anything else to report, I will let you know. But as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.